Unoka, is it not too early for all this?
What is all this? Too early for good music? Should a man not be free with himself even at the early hours of the morning, eh? Adeze, my wife. Music is the best food for a good spirit.
But we should be getting ready to go to the farm.
That is what I am doing. A man has to feel well with himself before talking about going to any farm, Adeze, my wife. Eh? Look, music is the best food for a good spirit.
My name is Mazi Iyanyi Iboko. I work as the Executive Director at the Center for Memories in Ncheta Ndi Igbo, the organizers of the Things Fall Apart Festival 2025. Things Fall Apart Festival is geared towards amplifying the essence and the beautiful work layered in the seminal novel of Chinua Achebe. And Unoka was a man who lived before his time, right? Unoka shouldn't have existed in the time when Umuofia was set, because he was someone who was seen as lazy. He was someone who, because it doesn't have young bands, because he never married two wives and all of those things that a man was supposed to have done in his time. But Unoka in today has shown us what humanity should be all about. Right? Unoka has shown us that it is nice, it is good for a man to express himself, unlike Okonkwo, who doesn't like anything effeminate. If you show emotions as a man, Okonkwo despises you. You know, so Okonkwo is filled with masculinity, maybe negative one or positive one, because he did something that made the entire community, noticing. After defeating Amalinze, throwing his back on the ground, he achieved something that a lot of people, couldn't achieve. And Okonkwo, all through his life, had always wanted, to have all of the titles in the clan. So, but again, just the same way Okonkwo despises his father, his son despises him. So, but if you look at that trilogy of Things Fall Apart, Arrow of God, and No Longer Artist, it gives you a deeper insight into what Chinua Achebe wants us to understand. And that is what has inspired us to put up the theme for this year's festivals: masculine, feminine, human. The dialogue of complements in Things Fall Apart. You have to see this dialogue. And that is one of the things we want to express in the course of this festival as it tarries from today until its termination on Saturday.
My name is Mondi Diamond Ane. People call me Odozi Obodo. I'm a businessman, an MC, brand ambassador, a politician, a youth leader, and media personality. I'm from Enugu, Kano East local government area. I am here to show solidarity to my friend, Ben Etiaba, and other members of the organizing committee of this historic event, Things Fall Apart, a book written by Professor late Chinua Achebe. Almost every sector or every part of the world, Things Fall Apart is being celebrated because it has been translated to over 50 international languages. So the man actually projected the image of Igbo nation, Nigeria and Africa to the rest of the world with that literally piece. So I am happy to be here. I also look forward to the commemorative lecture by the globally recognized novelist and author, Chimamanda Adichie, to give a lecture as it concerns everything about Things Fall Apart. Also another motion picture legend, Peter Edochie, he'll be here on Saturday. So it's a retinue of events according to what I've seen and what I've heard. And I will keep on coming because we have to support our people. We have to support art. We have to support culture. We have to support literally arts and literally works of art. And by so, we send message of unity, peace, harmony, and proper celebration of our foreign heroes, and also things that concerns the country, the society, and the community its own. I also commend Voice of the East. Voice of the East is doing well, and believe you me, Voice of the East has come to stay, because they always identify with every event, every program that projects the cultural heritage of Igbo nation, Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. So thank you so much.
My name is Theodora Ajegu, and I'm here at the Things Fall Apart Festival just to give myself an intense cultural immersion. My motivation to be here is to help me learn more about the Igbo people, because I think that I just began last year an intense journey into understanding the people and the culture of the Igbo land, and I thought that it would be an absolute cultural immersion experience for me to be here, and that's why I'm here, and I'm looking forward to an amazing week of understanding the Igbo people and their culture and their ways even better. From experience, I would say that the average Igbo person is very resilient. I think that underneath all of the hardcore impression that we have of the average Igbo person, it's an absolute sweetheart, gentle and kind, very people-oriented, but they put up this front of we're really hard guys. I don't know if I'm using the right words, but I think that right beneath every Igbo man and woman, based on my own experience, there's this really nice, soft, kind-hearted person, and in addition to all of that is the resilience, and I think the whole world knows that part about Igbo people as well.
Mafia Kelenu. My name is Chukwebuka Gerald Ibe. I go by Chuki. I'm here at Ncheta, the Center for Memories. It's an exciting time because we're celebrating the Things Fall Apart Festival, the inaugural first ever Things Fall Apart Festival. I'm so excited. I have the pleasure of being part of one of the facilitators during the festival on Friday. We're going to be reimagining Things Fall Apart. Imagine if Okonkwo made different choices. Imagine if he went left instead of going right. Imagine if one of those individuals, one of those girls, imagine if the girl he took from that village, imagine if we followed her story instead of following Okonkwo and the little boy he brought back.
Afam Buchibuike Ifedilichukwu. Ana m akwa nka. Anọ na ọba nka Umuofia. I'm here for the Things Fall Apart anniversary, presently in Umuofia village. The inspiration behind the artwork I produced, which I titled Chinuolumu Ogo, is all about the father of the Things Fall Apart. That is why everybody is gathered here. And this artwork I originated the pattern which I called Nkautwe, inspired by Ogwai Ndigo, the way we weave Ogwai. So that's the way I weave this particular artwork, using waste material, empty beverage cans to weave it.
Afambo John Chukwemeka Abwez. I've been a while. Otega kam angolo akwụkwọ Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart. Ihe a akwụkwọ na-akọwa maka obodo ndị nọ in the process of cultural interfacing with an alien culture. You know how a people were, would I say, ambushed by a culture that's alien to them, and how they had to process through and fight through this cultural clash or infighting. Okonkwo represents that, would I say, that's masculine pinnacle in Igbo culture. You know, a man who is resolved, strong, hardworking. Basically, the quintessential Igbo man in every sense. You know, but also a man who is unwilling to bend his principles and his way of life, and ultimately, which led to his, would I say, his final defiance of the white culture by killing himself instead of giving the British government the pleasure of judging and killing him. He decided to go out in his own terms and kill himself. So Things Fall Apart is a deeply, would I say, it's a profound story that captures Igbo society as it transitioned from the ancient cultural background to a modern world. And it is a worthy read for everyone, especially every Igbo man and woman.
There's no going saying that Things Fall Apart is a phenomenal book. It's a coming of age book, so to speak. It's really not a very easy task to pick out a particular passage that stands out, because there are very many passages there. There are very many scenes there that one commits to mind. But in the light of the theme of this year's celebration, which centered on the phenomenon of Onoka, that passage where Onoka went to the chief priestess to complain about his crops not doing well, and he was remonstrated by the chief priestess to go home and till the land, do some more work so as to get results. A lot can be said about the person of Onoka being a lazy person, but on the other side, it cannot be lost that he's also a free spirit, an interesting character who takes life quite easy, who doesn't too bother himself so much about life. Seeing another perspective, that can also be a welcome approach to life, because life can really be much ado about nothing. So in that light, Onoka for me connotes both a positive, a negative, but also a positive aspect if you look at it closely.
Ndewonu, afọ m bụ Kene Olisa Obuzuru. Abụ m onye Enugu steeti. Mmemme anyị nọ n'ime ya bụ mmemme Things Fall Apart. N'ime akwụkwọ Things Fall Apart, ebe kacha wee metụta m bụ na mgbe the uncle of Okonkwo, Okonkwo na 7 years, wee bata. So the uncle wee si ya, wee kpọọ meeting with ụmụ ya, and he was trying to let them know the meaning of Nneka. Na-agwa ha na Nneka, ọ na-asị ha nwee n'ime unu ma ihe ha ji akpọrọ ụmụ anyị nwaanyị Nneka, the power of women. So ebe ahụ ka ọ nọ metụta m, portraying the image that women are powerful. Now women na ha nwa dị mma, nwaanyị bụ efe, and that's the part of Things Fall Apart that really, kind of resonates with me. Daalụnụ.
Afọ m bụ Barrister Obi Onwe. Abụ m onye Enugu steeti. Abịala m Center for Memories maka Things Fall Apart program. Wee fụ ebe a na-ele akwụkwọ asị ka m gụrụ ya ka m revisit my memories on Things Fall Apart. Ana ihe ngụtago kịta bụ maka the father ụlọ ụka. Otu esi kọwaa ya asụ na ọ bụ a lazy man. So o si ebe anwụrị ka ọ na-achọ. Amakwa m na o wutere Okonkwo na papa ya dị lazy. But anyị che niile chọkwara ebe anwụrị dị. O nwere onye chọọ ịta afụfụ. Mana anyị na-ati afụfụ ahụ, ị na-enweta anwụrị. Ọ ihe ụwa dị na ya.
My name is Nnabeze Favour Chisboma from UNN Department of Fine and Applied Arts. The title of my work is The Fire That Burns Within. The theme being masculinity, femininity. I try to depict the connection between male and female. Masculinity, femininity, male, female, they all boil down to one word, which is human. We're all humans, despite the gender differences. So I try to depict here with a woman holding a bowl of fire. The fire here depicts the fire that burns within us. That is the resilience of a woman whose words are not valued, because during the colonization years, during those times, women's opinions don't matter. So then the fire that burns within them, the burning spirit to be heard, the resilience, and then for the male, the strength, their fierce nature, that burning spirit within them that makes them want to go out there and fight for their family and their culture, their town. So this burning fire within us, we shouldn't let our fire quench. The movement of our fire, the movement of the flames, it is determined by our willpower. Do you want your fire to burn? Do you want your fire to die? Faint or bright? You determine how your fire burns. So let your fire burn. And then the patterns, as you can see on her face, depicts, like it tells a story. Every pattern tells a story. It tells a story of our unsung culture. That's what my work talks about.
Afọ m bụ Ikechukwu Erojikwe, a na-akpọtụkwa m Ikuku Ụzọ Mmụọ. Anyị nọ ebe a na-celebrate Things Fall Apart at 67. Things Fall Apart was a great text written by one of our greatest, Chinua Achebe.
This is just the commencement, symbolic opening of the village and the flag off of the Things Fall Apart 2025 festival. This event is going to go on every single day, different programs until Saturday. Saturday is the grand finale, and that's when you will see the majestic Ajofian Newi performing. That's when you will hear the keynote address of Odelowa Chimamanda Adichie. I want to thank you for coming. I've declared this event open.
You never listen to